guys, welcome back to Pavalauda, and welcome back to this bitch. Oh my god, remember last time with Ines, we found out who the murderer was for our parents, so this guy, this is just bad news altogether. It literally, like, we should have been concerned in the very beginning when Yune was asking the Warner to look into it, but it's even worse when it's coming from this dude, so rip. Guess we're gonna find out. Really?
間違いないよ。でも、詳しくはここでは言えなくて。
This disgusting man.
どこか人目につかないところ。礼拝堂へ行かないか？そこで話すよ。
Gladly. The killer has been found. Finally, the truth was going to be laid bare. And what happens then? What was going to happen to St. Yune and my agreement? What about our relationship? Were we going to abandon that plan?
どうしたんだ？早くおいで。
Yes. First, I need to get the murders cleared up. Then I can worry about St. Yune. Who had killed my parents and subjected me to so much injustice? Nervously, I followed Lord Fitzgerald. Oh god, Creamu, don't go! Don't go!
よし。誰もいないね。
Oh god, stay near the door, girl. Lord Fitzgerald walked to the center and turned around towards me. I walked up to him and stopped. Wee woo wee woo, this is your Puffalauda trigger warning. Yes, this is an extra long episode since it is the finale of St. Yune, or Yune's Path, however you want to say it. And this is the first trigger out of the many. So, if you don't like blood, please skip to the time shown on the screen, and if you are okay with it, then just come along for the ride. We already know what's about to happen. If you don't like blood, you could probably assume what's about to happen. Yikes. Lord Fitzgerald, who's the murderer? Who killed my parents?
このナイフ、見覚えないかい？
Oh god. Oh my god! Lord Fitzgerald held me by my shoulder and plunged the knife into my stomach. Smiling, he whispered into my ear.
君の親は、この僕が殺したんだ。
Holy crap! I knew he was crazy in the Ines one, but holy crap, he fucking stabbed her in the middle of the church. But, why?
さあ、どうしてだろうね。君も僕も、駒に過ぎないからさ。
Hans? Lord Fitzgerald nodded and pushed me away.
バイバイ。かわいそうな子。
Oh my god, I'm sweating. No, but hey, Lord Fitzgerald, why? Why? Help her! Help her! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yune! Oh god.
大事な会議ね。
Had been the sovereign for 400 years. They had happened before. One time a virus outbreak had affected the farms. Another time there had been a problem with the population control. My presence was only required during times of emergency.
でも、そんなことめったにあるもんじゃない。
They generally happened once every 20 years or so. Most matters of state didn't require my opinion. The others took care of it.
大したことないといいんだけど。
I waited for the assembly to go into session.
それでは今から緊急議会を開催する。
The tension immediately rose in the room. I could tell from their tense reaction that nothing good was going to be discussed.
本日の議題はユネ様。
Oh shit.
ユネ様の我々への裏切りについてです。
Oh shit.
裏切り？
そうです。あなたは聖人、国で最も清いとされながら、ある特定の女性を愛しているでしょう。
Oh shit.
あなたは神官、博愛であることを求められる崇高な存在にもかかわらず、愚かな恋に溺れるとは。
Oh my god, are we both gonna
そ
die?
もそもこの国では法で定められし者以外との恋愛は大罪。よって議会は あなたを告発する。
告発か。
I was faced with a serious situation, but due to either my personality or my age, I felt perfectly calm.
ウォーナーはなぜか得意げだけど、こうなることもあるだろうとは予測していたからな。
I was a rational, scientific man who looked at the world as a numerical pattern. Nothing ever succeeded 100% of the time, and nothing ever failed 100% of the time. Even in the best system, something eventually fails and breaks down, and even the worst system produces good results sometimes.
だから絶対に秘密が漏れないとは考えてなかった。もっとも、予想してたよりもずっと早くバレたのには驚いたけど、それに、恋であってまだ愛には至っていないんだけど、なのにウォーナーは愛してるとか叫んでさ。
Please notice Creamy's dead body on the side!
何がおかしい？
お前は、いや、お前たちは私よりよっぽど人間だというのに、愛を否定するとは滑稽だと思ってな。
その口ぶり、罪を認めるか？
そうだね。お前が私のこの感情を罪と呼ぶのなら、ああ、認めてやろう。
The men criticized me, their gaze full of anger and pity. I had no allies there, but something gave me comfort. The cage was unlocked. I could take flight and leave.
さあ、ここからだ。ユネセキエイ。ここにいる誰よりも、人となれ。
Oh, picture get!
いい機会だ。お前たちに教えてやろう。人の根源は愛だ。愛あればこそ、人は感情を持ち、行動し、社会を形成する。当然、その社会にはお前たちが礎となっている、この国も含まれる。だが、この国では愛は制限され、場合により罪だと非難される。国の創世記、大洪水を逃れた私やお前たちの祖先は、生存のために早急に法を作成した。最初に決まった法が人口統制。我々には仲間が必要だったからだ。確実に増やし、互いを支え、恋愛や結婚、出産を個人に任せては、人口を計画的に増加できない。それは未熟な国家にとって、発展の妨げとなると、当時の私たちは考えた。故に私たちは、自由恋愛を罪とし、家庭を管理する法を定めることにした。政府の指示で、男女を組み合わせることにしたんだ。組み合わせは効率が優先され、個人の感情は一切考慮されない。この人権を無視した法に反論者がいなかったのは、国の未熟さを全員が痛感していたからだ。それから幾百の時を経て、今もなお、この古い法は修正されることなく民を縛り、民はそれを当然として受け入れている。科学や技術が発展した今、私はその法の存在理由に疑問がある。最初に述べた通り、愛あればこそ、人は人でいられるからだ。しかしながら、罰を免れる気はない。私はその悪法を作った一人だからだ。そして、今日まで見過ごしてきた報いも、受けなければいけない。だから私は、愛をもってお前たちが私の愛を否定することを許そう。課せられる罰をすべて受け入れよう。
聖人ともあろう方が罪深き愛を主張するなど、化け物は化け物でしかないということか。
Shut up, you disgusting bitch. Ugh.
いや、もはや聖人ではない。ただの罪人、大罪人だ。
そうだよ。私は聖人ではない。聖人など、国の都合に合わせて作られた、ただの幻影だ。愛で罰せられるのは 私が最後であるよう願っている。世話になったな。さらばだ。
Bye. Holy crap!
ユネ石英、お前を法廷外恋愛の罪で下界へ追放する。
The gears were set in motion as soon as my guilt was decided. I was sent to the depths within the day. Wait, Krimu! I was alone in the lift as a form of punishment. It seemed rather cruel to me, but I didn't object. For centuries, I'd lived in the heights only to be evicted unceremoniously. The lift seemed unusually large with only me in it. I wasn't sure why that was at first, but then I understood.
お前がいないからだ。
I said her name, but as expected, nothing happened.
彼女はどうなったのだろう。
She's lying down on the floor! Oh my god! Oh my god! She's gonna die! I was being punished. Perhaps she was being punished as well.
彼女に悪いことをしたかもしれない。いや、悪いことをしたんだ。
I tried to use her, thinking she was a murderer. I'd thought she was just going to die anyway if she was sent to the depths. And if she couldn't manage to kill me, then a miracle would have killed her with nobody to weep for her. Or so I'd thought.
ああ、もう、どうして今さら、泣けるのかな。
I had no mirror, nothing to see myself in, but I could feel tears running down my cheeks. They were warm and no amount of wiping them away could make them stop. I cried so much that I had to wonder whether my mind had broken down.
アルセン・クライムと別れた時だって泣かなかった。泣けなかったのに。
I thought that feelings like that had disappeared after becoming mortal.
胸が痛い。苦しくて、息ができなくなりそうだ。
Every beat was accompanied by a stabbing pain that shook my body. I wanted to die, would have accepted it, but my body refused it. It clung to life.
恋をすれば死ねると思った。だからお前を好きになった。なのに、計画は失敗した。私は未だに生きている。なのに、私は、お前が恋しいままだ。
She's dead on the floor!
どうしよう。お前に悪いことをしてしまった。お前には笑っていてほしい。幸せになってほしい。なのに、私は道連れに。私が人になりたいと願ったばかりに。ごめんなさい。
She's dead! She's dead!
ユネ、会わ
石英。なんだ。もう会えないと思っていたのに。
どうして？
私が、石英の愛を拒んだからだよ。散々世話になっておいて、突き放したんだ。見限られただろうなってさ。
愛は簡単に尽きるものではありません。私はあなたの中にいます。ですからまだ、今はまだそばにいます。ですが、
もう、去ってしまう？
そうですね。あなたが彼女を思えば思うほど、あなたの心の中での私の領域が狭くなっていく。私の力も弱まり、やがて消えることでしょう。
そう。死ねるということか。
嬉しいですか？
うん。嬉しいよ。でもね、変だな。悔しいとも思うんだ。彼女がどうなったか、わからないまま死ぬのは、とても悔しい。身勝手だよね。殺せと頼んで、殺すと脅して、次は心配してるんだ。誰よりも年寄りなのに、私は子供だ。
そうですね。 ですけど、それが人というものではないでしょうか。
人？
そう。永遠を生きる私のような鉱石には理解できない。移ろいゆくもの。変わるからこそ美しいきらめき。あなたは、そう。所詮の人。戻るべきところへ戻ろうとしている。鉱石が人を愛するなら、私もまた愚かだったのです。どこまでご一緒できるかわかりませんが、どうか最後まで、最後の後も幸せ。
Damn, that's true love right there. She's staying, she's wishing for the best.
ありがとう。石英。
By the time the lift arrived in the depths, my tears had dried. My throat, my head, my entire body hurt, but I was alive. Nobody had told me to come out, but I staggered towards the door like a puppet. Berger was waiting alone at the station. He seemed a little confused, unsure how he was going to treat me.
道中、お疲れ様でした。
うん。
まずは施設内の独房へ入っていただきます。今後どうするかは、これから考えます。
お前の好きにすればいい。私はもう成人ではない。ここへ落とされるものと同じ。罪人だ。
おい、あれユネ様じゃないか。
罪を犯したという話は本当だったということ？
On the way to the headquarters of the Hounds, people began to gather around us.
すべては今日の出来事だというのに、随分と早いものだな。
I looked up at the orange sky and saw the heights. I felt a longing even though I knew that I would never return.
罪を犯したってなんだよ。成人じゃなかったってことか？
んだよそれ。俺たちを騙してたってことか？
ちょっと石を投げるなんてよしなさい。怪我するわよ。
そうだ。彼女の言う通り、投石はしない方が身のためだ。
I wasn't in any mood to warn him though.
ああ、あいつは罪人なんだろ？これくらいしねえと気が済まねえよ。
しなければよいもの。
The stone struck me on the cheek. It hurt a fair amount. Wee woo wee woo. This is your Puff It Louder trigger warning again. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think that the only people who are going to be able to finish this episode and watch it all the way through are people who are able to look at really disturbing material and not be heavily affected by it. I think if you have any doubts about your mental health, I think if you have any sensitivities to blood, suicide, death, etc., abuse, and stuff like that, I would really recommend skipping to the time shown on the screen. It's quite disturbing and I think really immersive for those who are listening to the voice acting and watching and hearing my reactions and etc. It's pretty bad. I do a quick recap at the end of the episode. If you want to know exactly what happened, I will talk about all of it. And if you don't even want to hear me talk about it, I would suggest looking at a walkthrough because I think reading it is less immersive as well. But even for those who are going to continue watching, really steel yourself because it was not what I expected at all, especially because this is his quote-unquote best ending. So here we go.
痛み。
I touched the spot that had struck. It felt damp. Blood was trickling from the scratched skin.
そうか。石英の力が。
I had refused Sekie's love, and so her protection had also disappeared.
どうしてだ？ユネ様は不老不死で神に愛されていて、
Oh
怪我を
God.
負わないはず。
つまり騙されてたってこと？ひどいわ。
Oh God. Oh no. As I considered the situation, the people in the sanctuary district began to lose control. One after another, they threw stones at me.
チェ こんなんで満足できねえ。恥を知れ、化け物。
Oh no, Yune! No, no! The man had punched me hard in the face and I fell to the ground. The others were immediately upon me. Some of them punched me, others kicked me. They attacked me from all directions, letting out their anger and frustration on me.
これは私への罰だ。受け入れなくてはいけない。避けてはいけない。許さなくてはいけない。憎んではいけない。耐えろ、耐えろ、耐えろ。死ぬまで
No!
耐えるんだ。
My body accepted the pain, but not death.
どうしてだ、石英。私は死にたいのに、この程度ではダメだということ。早く楽にしてくれ。もう嫌だ。
Oh! I was powerless, but my mind didn't fade even in the midst of their relentless, hateful attacks. Through the crowd, I saw Burger standing by without stopping the violence. He was smiling faintly. That's fucked up.
いるか、グリッサード殿。
What the fuck? This is horrible.
ええ。どうしました？おやおや、そちらは。
成人。いや、今は違
Oh
うか。
my god.
ユネ、新しく送られてきたおも
Did
ちゃ
I
だ。
pick like the wrong things? Like, wasn't he happy?
人聞きが悪いですよ。罪人と呼ばなければ。
どちらも一緒だ。
君にとってはそうでしょうね。しかし、ひどい怪我ですね。ユネ様、おかわいそうに。
With that, the man called Glissade lifted me onto the medical table.
この怪我、普通の人間なら間違いなく死んでいましたよ。
Glissade looked at me with pity again and began to shackle me to the table.
私は
No, 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 no.
貴重な研究対象です。無傷で連れてきて欲しかったですね。
No, you're not going to do this. I didn't expect to hear that. I forgot what I'd wanted to say.
ならば事前に言っていただきたい。だが問題ないだろう。
No,
そいつは化け物だ。死にはしない。
Oh my god, no. They're not going to do this.
まあそうですね。そういうことにしましょう。
Glissade waited until Burger had left and touched my hair.
私はとある理由で蘇生を研究していましてね。
No,
ず
no.
っと恩義に興味がありました。
Oh my god, no. They're not going to do this. Please. He ran his finger down my cheek, down my throat, and rested it on my chest.
貴重な研究対象としてできるだけもてなしますので。
He drew away and reached for an array of syringes.
不老不死とは血液も常人と異なるものなんでしょうか。
I must have done
楽しみ
something
です
wrong.
ね。
This can't be right. This can't be right. No. No. The thick needle pierced my skin without mercy to draw out my blood. One needle, two, three. My punishment didn't end. Burger had called me a toy, and now that seemed so very fitting.
私は力で叩きのめされても血を奪われても死ねないの
This
か。
can't be right. This can't be happening. Oh my god.
こんな状態では何もできない。諦めれば楽になるのかな。
I had stopped seeing Sekie in my dreams, but I was still alive. When was the pain going to end? I gave up on dying. I gave up on becoming human again.
弱ったな。一つだけ諦められないものがあった。
This cannot be happening.
お前だけは お前のことだけは諦められない。
I wondered whether she was somewhere on the surface as well. Whether she was alive. I hoped she wasn't having a hard time.
ああ。暴力よりもずっと、何よりも痛みがひどい。
How is this still going? The pain in my body and in my heart. Everything hurt. I was in agony, but I couldn't die. I wasn't allowed to die.
私はどうなってもいい。血でも肉でも、欲しいなら何でもくれてやる。誰でもいい。どうか、彼女を。
Oh my god, I feel so horrible. This entire episode is a trigger warning. Oh my god, this
彼女を、助けてください。
That's the end? We must have gotten a bad ending. That cannot... It can't be right. Oh my god. That was awful. That can't be Yune. What? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up right now. Hold on. That is insane. That was literally probably one of the worst endings I've ever seen in my life. I'm like struggling to... I like almost cried. It's just so cruel. Like, it's so cruel. That can't be correct, right? Did I miss something? Did I do something wrong? Like... I don't know. I don't know. I can't believe they would do that. I wasn't ready to cry. Is really what I should say. I'm really was not ready to suffer the way I did. Oh my god, my hands are sweating. I'm shaking. Like, what happened? I'm just trying to find one where someone explains what happens in his roots, like, because it just doesn't seem right to me. It feels so horrible. Did Krimu die? Did Krimu die and then he was sent down and then beaten to death by, like, or not even to death, beaten so that if he could die, he would have died, and then brought to Glissade, where Glissade uses him as a toy for the rest of his immortal life? That's awful. That's so awful. Oh my god, Yune, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. My heart hurts. I'm in so much pain. I can't believe that this happened. This is the reason why this game is, like, rated mature. Like, it's not made for people who can't handle this stuff. I can barely handle that. Like, let alone someone who's, like, actually sensitive to this type of shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is awful. This is awful. Oh my god. That can't be it, right? Oh. Wow, quick. Okay.
ああ、もう分かってるってば。っていうか静かにしろよ。バレたらどうすんのさ。
You're the one who... No, we can argue later. Oh.
後でめんどくさそう。おい、起きろ。機械みたいにいろんな線につながれてさ。生きてるんだろ。返事しろよって。
二人ともどうしてここに？
We're alive! What the fuck? What the fuck? This is the craziest shit! Oh my god, what the hell's going on? Ulrich, you're speaking to Saint Yune. Mind your words.
はあ？言葉遣いなんてどうだっていいだろ。僕、宗教興味ないし。 石英なんかどうでもいいし。
Ulrich.
もう、二人ともうるさいよ。ぐっすり寝てたのにさ。
なんだ、元気そうだな。ってこともないが、顔色めちゃくちゃ悪いし。
We've come to save you, Saint Yune. Let's go.
行くって、どこへ？えだ！
Ulrich was using a knife to cut the plugs out of Yune's skin. Ulrich, be more careful.
うるさい。我慢できるだろ、これくらい。機械ごと引きずるなんて僕は無理。絶対無理だから。
Each time he disconnected a tube, it discharged a considerable amount of colorless liquid onto the floor.
甘い匂いがする。この液体、何なんだ？いや、知りたくもない。
Yeah, we don't want to know. Let's get out of here. Ulrich ripped out the last tube and looked at me.
僕が経路を確保する係。あんたはこいつを運ぶ係。それでいいよな。
Yes, that's all right. Saint Yune, cling to my back.
けど、私が触れるのは。
It's not the time for that. If you die, that's the end of it.
思い切りがいいというか。お前らしいね。女の子に担いでもらうのって恥ずかしいな。変な感じがする。
へえ、あんたにも恥ずかしいって感情はあるんだ。
Saint Yune, you're very light. Or rather, you've lost a lot of weight connected to the machine. Your appetite...
何をしている？
Fuck! Oh, it's Finn. Finn!
いやいや、フィン君、そう睨んでは二人とも怖がって話してく
Oh
れません
god,
よ。
Finn, no!
こんばんは、下界の情報屋さん。それから、
Glissade.
おやおや、君までいるとは、私は幸運ですね。
Lucky? How?
君は私の研究に必要ですから。お会いできて嬉しいという意味です。ところで、私の聖域で何をしてるんですか？招待をした覚えはないのですが。
さあね。
彼は私の大事な研究材料です。持ち去られては困りますね。
Research subject?
あんたたちはこいつを神官だなんだって敬ってただろ。
それはもう過去の話。今や上界にその方の居場所はなく、用はないんです。そんな中、私は使い道を見つけてやったんです。感謝してほしいくらいですね。
Adage, please come back and fucking set this shit on fire!
ほら、おとなしく返しなさい。今なら見逃してあげてもいいですよ。
返せ。物みたいに言うんだな。
研究材料は物ですよ。それは過去の遺物。歪みによって生まれた人ではない。君の手には余るであろう化け物。
You despicable piece of trash.
有効活用してやろうと言うんです。返しなさい。
僕は性格が悪くてね。返せって言われたら余計に返したくなくなる。
Ulrich, I always knew you were a good boy.
はあ、仕方ありませんね。フィン君、お願いします。
Wee woo wee woo, this is your Puffet Lotta trigger warning again. I know, this is the third one, hopefully this is the last one, but there is just going to be a little bit of blood and violence involved, so if you don't want to see that, please skip to the time shown on the screen, and if you're okay with that, enjoy. Please, Finn, please no.
私の研究物を奪還なさい。対象は殺しても構いません。ただし、そちらのお嬢さんは生かしてくださいね。彼女もまた私の大切な材料ですから。
Oh, God.
くそ。
Finn, stop it. We used to be partners.
元でしょ？彼は今やハウンズの一員。君との関係は過去のもの。 研究後は差し上げますから、彼女を捕獲なさい、フィン君。どうして
俺にとって二人とも過去ではない。帰ると決めた場所になくてはならない存在。呪のように扱われてはならない存在。
Oh my god, thank god.
お前などが好きに扱っていいはずがない。死ぬのはお前だ、グリッサード。
Finn looked up, and for a moment our eyes met in the mirror. Blood was splattered on his cheek. He tried to wipe it off with the back of his hand. Thank you, Finn.
言ってください。
But...
早く言ってください。
そいつの言う通りだ。早くここから立ち去ろう。
Got it, but you should come with us, Finn. You don't have to stay here. Finn!
いいえ、いけません。やるべきことが残っていますので。
Really?
はい。ですから、先に行ってください。お絵次第追いますので。
Make sure you find us.
はい。
Find us, okay?
はい。俺があなたとの約束を破るはずないじゃないですか。
Finn narrowed his eyes and gently touched my hair.
俺のことを覚えててくれてありがとうございました。
Don't be ridiculous. The way you're saying that, it sounds like we'll never see each other again.
すみません。
I'll be waiting for you. We'll be in Eltcreed's residence in the depths. Find us.
はい、約束です。
God, Finn. Finn listened to their receding footsteps as he looked at Glacide's corpse. Then he spun around. He was back in the now and his emotions were frozen solid.
あっけないものだな。
He'd been alive a few minutes earlier. Now he was a lifeless sack.
ガキ、ネズミは仕留めたか？
さあ。
Berger entered the room. Finn looked at him calmly. Berger walked through the room, suspicious at finding only Finn there.
ち、なんということを。医師を殺したのか。
邪魔者は排除しろと言ったのはお前だ。
バカが、見境なしに殺せとは言っていない。あれだけしつけてやったのに理解できないとは。だけんめ。
Wee woo wee woo, this is your Puff It Loud trigger warning number 4. I don't want to spoil what happens next, but if you put two of the most unstable people in a room together that hop to violence very quickly, then you will get violence. So if you're not comfortable with violence or anything of that sort, please skip to the time shown on the screen, and if you guys are ready to see what happens, then join me.
犬？俺はお前の犬じゃない！
Finn raised his sword at Berger. Berger drew his sword and blocked the attack with a crossguard. His arms groaned under the impact.
貴様、飼い主に向かってなんて口の利き方だ。再教育が必要だな。落ちこぼれ。
うるさい。黙れ、黙れ、黙れ、黙れ、黙れ！
No!
牙をちらつかせて吠えることでしか抵抗できぬとは。ガキ、やはり貴様は犬だ。犬は犬らしく、這いつくばる！
Berger pushed the sword away and tackled Finn in the side. Afterwards, he elbowed Finn in the back and he fell to the floor. Finn's features were contorted by pain. He twisted, trying to get up. But while he was still on the ground, Berger put his foot on his stomach. His body screamed under Berger's weight. Berger laughed as Finn could barely breathe.
唾を垂らしながらもがく様、まさしく狂犬だな。だが安心しろ、俺は優しい主人だからな。 貴様はまだ殺さん。感情も記憶も何もかも破壊し尽くし構成してやる。
I'm having a horrible time.
猟犬は猟犬でしかないことを教えてやろう。違う
Oh shit. Finn reached out and yanked on Burger's cape as hard as he could. The pressure on his stomach lightened. He propped himself up on his left elbow and grabbed Burger's foot.
No!
Finn was sitting on top of Burger now, looking down with eyes of ice.
形勢逆転だな、ザクセ。どうだ、俺に見下される気分は。
Clear liquid was still flowing out of the tubes scattered everywhere. It gave Burger's black cloak an even darker color. And not only his cloak, Finn's uniform was beginning to soak it up as well. Finn grimaced at the unusual smell.
いいこと思いついた。
Finn's right hand closed mercilessly around Burger's throat. He struggled and fought back. Finn used the chance to check through his pockets for something.
見つけた。
He pulled out a packet of cigarettes and an oil lighter. He'd seen them a lot during his time in the prison cell. Finn let go of his throat, stood up, and put his foot on Burger's stomach. Then he pulled out a cigarette and put it in his mouth. His memories of the darkness came back when he lit the cigarette. With empty eyes, he watched the flame. It felt like everything inside of him was ash, but there was more to it.
こんなものか。
Finn looked at the ceiling and inhaled the smoke. It was a symbol of someone in power. He'd seen it so often, but for him it meant nothing.
こんなものだよな。俺の人生も。
He killed so many on Burger or Glissade's orders. Seeing the lives of others fade away didn't move him anymore. He didn't want to admit it, but he was a hound now.
さあ、お前の好きな処刑を始めよう。
Oh, God. He dropped the cigarette ashes onto Burger's face and grinned.
そんなことをすれば貴様もただじゃ済まないぞ。
問題ない。落ちることにはもう慣れた。
Burger created a monster. He transferred the cigarette to his other hand and reached out.
殺してやる。死ななければ死ぬまで追いかけてやろう。お前だけは俺が殺す。殺処分の時間だ、ザクセン。
The cigarette dropped from his hands and fell into the liquid running over the floor. He caught fire the moment it touched him. The flames immediately spread to the machines around them, causing explosions to ripple across the room. Oh shit! Burger was still struggling to get up, even as the flames consumed him. Finn shook his head and held Burger down.
約束。できれば守りたかったんですけど
Finn, you're such a badass! Oh my god, I'm so sad! Don't die here!
すみません。どうかお元気で。
Oh no! No! The flames illuminated his face. The light caught his look of sadness and the tears in his eyes. He looked just as he had when he was still human. Oh my god, my heart. This has been the worst. This is literally the worst. I'm crying. This is awful. Oh my god.
ついに始まった。
Wow, where the fuck are we? There had been predictions for several years about the great flood that was going to swallow the land. The tremors in the ground were the warning sign. I staggered, looking around for him.
見つけた。アルセンクライム。アルセンクライム。時が来た。洪水がじきに来るぞ。上へ逃げよう。アルセンクライム、早く。
いや、ここに残る。
Picture get.
何を言っているんだ。計画ではお前は上へ行くことになっている。お前は研究者だぞ。行かなければ困る者がたくさんいる。
すまない、ユネ。私はここに残る。大事な家族を置いていけない。
アルセンクライム。
計画に選ばれたのは一握りの者だけ。家族は連れても構わないと聞いたが、妻も子も親戚が残るのであれば残ると言い、ついてこようとしないのだ。
なんでこのタイミングでそんなバカなことを。だったら私もここに残る。
それはダメだ、ユネ。お前は私の家族。上へ行くことが許可されている。だから。
嫌だ。一人で逃げるなんてできない。無理だ。私はアルセンクライムみたいに優れた機械技術を持たない。ただの鉱石の研究者だ。単独で行ったところで何の役にも立たない。
ユネ、頼む。ここを去って生き延びろ。
嫌だ。ここにもきっと生き延びる方法はある。どのような困難な状況でさえ私たちは希望を捨てない。成功するまで失敗を繰り返す。そうしてきたじゃないか。
ああ。でもな、ユネ。命は死んでしまえば戻らない。繰り返せないんだ。老いることのないお前がどうなるかはわからない。だが生き延びる可能性を持ったお前まで道連れにするなんて私にはできない。私たちの技術は人のためにある。未来のためにある。だからユネ、お前は生きなさい。
人のため。私の研究なんて自己満足のようなもの。鉱石の知識がどう人の役に立つというんだ。無駄なんだよ。
愚かなことを言うな。科学を、私たちの存在を否定するようなことを言うな。この世界に無駄なことなど一つとしてない。万物に意味があるんだ。
I'm so sad.
生きてよ。絶対。先に死ぬとか許さない。
ああ、そうだな。最後まで希望は捨てないさ。遠く離れても私たちが家族であることは変わらない。強く生きるんだ、ユネ。
I'm so sad.
なんとか間に合った。
I was inside the lift. I was the last one, apparently. There was nobody else. I heard the door close and leaned back.
アルセンクライム。
I hadn't wanted to give up. I wanted to either drag him along with me or remain as well. He was my only family, the only one who didn't fear me as an abomination.
水の音。いよいよか。いよいよ街が飲み込まれ。
Wee woo, wee woo. I know what you're thinking. Is there really another trigger warning? And yes, there is. There's trigger warning number 5. If you're not ready to see a really stressful situation where we try to save people, then please skip to the time shown on the screen. And if you are okay with being put in that type of position, then please suffer with me. I'm just so sad. We, the scientists, have protected this for a while, but seeing it in person... Someone was banging on the door. I could hear a man. I stood up and opened my mouth. I heard a different voice now.
助けろだって。
I looked around. I couldn't see a way to open the door. I hadn't been involved in the development of the lift. I didn't know what the emergency mechanisms were to open it.
ああ、来たぞ。波が。ああ、すぐそこに。
待って、今探してるから。
The ground shook and the lift began to move.
嘘だろ。 動くな、止まれ、彼らを助けなくては。
中から人の声が。助けてください。私たちを入れてください。
分かってる分かってる分かってる分かってる分かってる。助けないといけないと分かっているのに、救う方法が分からないんだ。
Their screams grew fainter and fainter below me. I could estimate how far I was above the ground based on that.
ごめんなさい。助けられなくて。助けたかったけど。ごめんなさい。
This is awful.
ほら、私はこんなにも弱い。何もできないんだ。
This is awful. A single door had been between me and them, and it was enough to doom them.
ねえ、アルセン・クライム。私は本当に必要なのかな。誰かの役に立つなんて私にはできないんじゃないかな。
I had arrived in the Heights. Nobody was waiting for me. I was just a mineralogist. I couldn't offer specialized technology. I had been allowed to go because I was related to Arsenclime, the famous engineer, but individually I was useless to the Heights. And with Arsenclime gone, I was no more than dead weight, an abomination that survived even hunger and drought. Nobody approached me. Nobody wanted to be close to something as strange as me. And so my days had passed. Once the political system had settled down, it set about constructing a set of symbols to inspire loyalty in people. I knew nothing about politics or governance, but I was ageless and immortal. I was chosen as the state's icon. 10 years after I came to the Heights, I finally had a place in society as a symbolic puppet. I accepted it.
ここは
Darkness. Nothing but impenetrable darkness. I turned around, looked down. Everything was black. I couldn't see anything, not even myself. The darkness seemed a part of me.
不老不死だなんて素晴らしい。羨ましいです。
そんなこと思ってないだろ。
神秘的で聖人と呼ばれるのにふさわしいです。
何がただの化け物だよ。
奇跡と呼びましょう。あなたの奇跡は人々の支えになる。
わからない。私はこんなことをするために地上を離れたんじゃない。
人のために力を使いなさい。
どうしたらいいの、アルセン・クライム。方法がわからないんだ。お前との約束は果たしたいのに、私は未だに方法がわからない。存在しても意味がない。いっそ消えたらいいのに、死ぬ方法もわからないんだ。死。あの子はどうなったのかな。少ししか一緒に過ごせなかったけど、彼女は私に希望をくれた。過去と向き合うために前へ進む勇気をくれたんだ。別れの言葉も言えないまま離れ離れになってしまった。もう一度だけでいい。他には何も望まないから、お前に会いたいよ。聞こえる。この声は。
I'm at a loss of words right now. I'm so sad. My heart's broken. Everything awful's happening.
ここは。
Oh! St. Yune slowly opened his eyes. I'd waited for this moment for so long that I forgot what I wanted to say. Forgot what I wanted to say. Oh, St. Yune! Empty eyes looked back at me. His mind was still catching up, I thought. He spoke unsteadily.
どうしてお前がいるの？ここどこ？ 私はここを知ってる。とてもよく知ってる。
St. Yune sat up and looked around with narrowed eyes.
私が地上にいた頃、閉じこもって研究をしていた場所だ。
今はあんたのじゃないけどね。ここはフェリエ家に伝わる書庫。今の管理者は僕だ。
そうか。フェリエが。
St. Yune blinked and looked at me.
どういうこと？私も、お前も、なんで、この部屋にいるの？
あんた自身は僕がハウンズのとこから運んできた。それでそっちのは
I was sent to the sanctuary district and rescued by Serenus. Eltcreed took me in afterwards and allowed me to stay at his residence.
そうなのか。エルトクリードはすごいね。私と違って、何でもできる。
So what happened with her being stabbed and all, you know?
なんでそんなに自虐的かわけわかんないんだけど。
わけがわからないのは、私の方だよ。お前は私を嫌っていたはず。助ける義理なんてないだろう。
確かに。でも、どうしても聞きたいことがあったから。あの場じゃ解決できなさそうだから連れてきた。
St. Yune looked at him questioningly. Ulrich placed a little box on his lap.
これ、フェリエが先祖代々受け継いでるものなんだけどさ。開け方がさっぱりわからないんだ。
Not even you do?
そうだよ。悪かったなバカで。10桁の文字と数字の組み合わせだぞ。僕は暇人じゃないんだ。そう当たりで調べるなんてできない。あんたならわかると思ってさ。どうなんだ、石英。
Combination, not combination.
はあ？何笑ってんだよ。
懐かしいなって思ってたんだ。これはね、私がアルセン・クライムの誕生日に送った小物入れだから。
St. Yune began to turn the little wheels that could unlock the box. Even after centuries, his movements were sure and fast. It opened.
中身はなんだよこれ。おもちゃか。
Inside the box was a small clock key.
絶対なくすなって言われてたから特別ですごいもんだと思ってたのに。なんだよもう。
鍵だよ。
あ？
お前にとってはガラクタかもしれないけど、私にとっては大事なもの。
Wait, we got the key to his
それは
chest!
私の心臓の機械を制御するための鍵だ。
So if we use that clock key, your heart...
石英はいわば動力源。そしてこの機械は心臓を眠らせ、代わりに動くことで私に永遠を与えてくれた。機械が止まれば心臓は目覚め、自分の力だけで動こうとする。私の時間が再び始まるんだ。そしてその心臓が力尽きた時、私は死ねるはず。私は心臓が弱いから長生きはできないだろうけど、これからはきっと人のように生きられるんだ。ウルリク、お前が大事に継いできたものだ。ずうずうしいかもしれないけど、それを譲ってくれないだろうか。
He's so mad. Ulrich.
ああもう二人してそんな目で見るなよな。居心地が悪い。すごく悪い。いいよ、あげる。こんなゴミ何の役にも立たないからさ。ん？
What is it?
なんか手紙が入ってた。ってこれもあんた宛てっぽいな。ほらよ。
本当だ。アルセン・クライムの地だ。
Oh my god! Oh, here we go. Letter time.
ユネ、この手紙を読んでいるということは、お前は心臓を止める鍵を求めたということに違いない。 お前は覚悟の上だと言ったが、私は悩みに悩んだ。お前の死を望んでいたわけではないが、延命は人の道理に反するのではと思ったからだ。そしてその悩みは、お前と別れた今もなお尽きることがない。だからこの鍵を代々受け継ぐことにする。いつかお前が必要とするその時まで大事に預かろう。停止させるための鍵を自分に託したお前のために。私はきっと会うことはないが、私の血を継ぐ者を私と思い、どうか仲良くしてやってくれ。昔の私たちのように。アルセン・クライム・フェリエ。
Oh.
なんだ。譲るとか譲らないとかそういうの関係なく。
そうだな。やっとたどり着いた。私の時間が動き出す。
Saint Yune pressed the key against his chest.
アルセン・クライム。ただいま。希望を残してくれて、ありがとう。
賑やかですね。どうやら出遅れてしまったようで。
Altcreed.
おはようございます、ユネ様。食事をお持ちしました。どれもこれもまずいですけど。
まずいって分かってるものをなんで持ってくるんだよ。
持ってきたのは非常食です。いつ目覚めるのかわからないのに、パスタを茹でても仕方ないでしょ。
God, Altcreed. He was the lightheartedness that we needed for this episode, because clearly the past like hour was just all sad stuff.
ご気分は？まあよくはないでしょうけど、どこか痛むとか程度はどうですか？
うん。いろいろごちゃごちゃでわからない。でも意識ははっきりしてきたし、大丈夫だと思う。
Saint Yune contemplated something for a moment.
上階へ戻ることはできないし、保護地区も無理だろうし、居場所が一気になくなってしまった。
簡単です。俺を頼ればいいんです。
エルト・クリード？
ええ。俺は土地も金もたんまり持っていますし、この地域では権力もあります。ま、いわゆる強者ですね。
I never met someone as confident as you.
僕も。でも、事実なんだよな。
ええ、事実です。この辺りでバーレンティンの名にひれ伏さない者はいません。もしいても、銃を突きつけ、ひれ伏させるだけです。
Alright, for this Altcreed stands out there, I can understand why you like him. He's really good in this route.
でも、悪いよ。私は何もできない。返すものがない。
俺は銀行家ですので、無償奉仕は好みません。ですが、返すのはいつでも構いませんよ。ユネ様、何かしたいことはありますか？
したいこと？
そうです。もしここで、下界で生きていくとしたら、どんなことをしたいですか？夢は何ですか？
夢。いきなり言われても困るな。私は何百年も神官として生きてて、死を願ってたから。
Saint Yune.
大丈夫。今は前向きだよ。この鍵のおかげで私は人に戻れるから。
Saint Yune cradled the clock key in his hands and continued.
おもちゃ屋を開きたいかな。
A toy shop?
うん。手先はそこそこ器用だし、機械いじりが好きだったんだ。子供の頃、よく養父が作ってくれて、 嬉しかったから、私も喜ばせたいなって。どうかな？
This is like so
な
random.
るほど。おもちゃ屋ですか。
ダメか？
ニーズを考えると経営が難しそうですが、融資のしがいがあっていいですね。俺、逆境に立たされる方が燃えるので。バーレンティン銀行にお任せください。望むなら大企業になるまでバックアップしますよ。
そんなのいいよ。私は、人前に立つのはもう疲れた。細々と暮らしたい。夢か。こんな風に、未来のことを楽しく考えられる日が来るなんてね。
Saint Yune smiled softly and yawned.
ああ、まだお疲れのようですね。俺たちは退散しますので、しばらくここでゆっくりしていってください。ここ、僕の隠れ家なんだけど。ウルリクもこう言ってますので、好きなだけくつろいでくださいね。そんなこと一言も言ってないし。
I smiled at their exchange and looked down at Saint Yune. I'll excuse myself. We'll talk again
待って。
Huh? Saint Yune thought about what to say for a moment. He was holding me back by my clothes.
やはり触れる。触れるんだ。
Why are you saying this in front of everyone? Saint Yune.
お前は少しだけここに残って。話があるから。
I looked at Eltcreed, seeking permission. He smiled and started pushing Ulrich towards the door.
なんだよ。君は空気を読むのが下手ですね。はあ、黙れよ。あんたよりマシだ。よっぽどマシ。
They left the room, still bickering. Silence reigned once the doors closed, showing me just how loud those two had been.
あの二人、普段からああなのかな？
They almost look like siblings to me. How was it for you?
ん？
Did you and Arsenclimb talk to each other that way?
まさか。私たちはもっと大人だったよ。いたずらは度が過ぎていたけどね。
Pranks?
私たちはものづくりが大好きだったからね。好奇心が旺盛だったんだ。
Saint Yune shifted himself a little and gestured for me to sit down. I sat down and said I was glad he had survived. As for me, Lord Fitzgerald tricked me and injured me. Afterwards, I was sent to the Sanctuary District.
フィッツジェラルド。ウォーナーの子息だよね。
Yes, it seems he was the one who killed my parents. I was careless.
子息の犯行。だからウォーナーは私を告発したのか。
Saint Yune?
いや、いい。もう過ぎたこと。ああ、よくないか。お前が雪辱を果たす機会がなくなってしまった。すまない。私のせいで、お前は結局罪人のままだ。
Please don't worry about it. My family's already gone. You're the only person I have left. As long as you're alive, I can be happy.
健在というにはボロボロだけど、私はね、前も言った通り、奇跡なんて起こせない。鉱石に生かされていただけの、ただの人間だ。不老不死の代償として、人に触れることも、愛することもできなかったけど、私を信じて、そのまま、じっとしていて。
Saint Yune smiled and put his hand on my cheek.
いつか、こうしてくれたね。私も、同じように触れられるようになった。触れられる。傷つき、老いて、そして誰かを愛せる。私は人になったんだ。
A human?
そう。石英。 私の命を救ってくれた鉱石には悪いことをしたけど、でもそれでも私は人だから、人として生を全うしたくなった。お前と共に。
Oh. Oh, sorry. Saint Yune.
ユネ様か。私はもう神官ではないのだから、様はつけなくてもいいんだよ。
You're not?
うん。恋人同士なんだから、親しい感じがいいな。あれ？何その反応。解消した覚えはないけど。
No, but I thought that was just a ploy to cause your death.
うん。きっかけはそうだよ。けど私は、お前のことが好きだ。そして、もっと好きになりたい。神官と付き人という立場はなくなるけど、あの頃か、あの頃以上に一緒に過ごしたいんだ。
Why?
変な子だな。好き以外にも理由が必要？必要なら、これからいくらでも作るよ。お前がもういいって言うまで、そばにいる理由を考える。だから、ね。いいでしょ？
Alright.
よかった。
God.
心臓がドキドキして死ぬかと思った。本当にね。
Saint Yune groaned and began to undo the buttons on his shirt. What's the matter?
胸の機械がうるさい。機械を動かすだけの力はまだ石英に残ってるのか。早く機械を止めたい。
Oh. Saint Yune's skin was heavily scarred. Thinking about the abuse he must have endured hurt me, and I wanted to look away. Saint Yune checked the keyhole on his chest and tried to use his clock key. But...
あれ、おかしいな。
Perhaps he was tired or nervous, but his hand shook so badly he couldn't insert the clock key. I will help you. I took the key from his hand and put it in front of the keyhole. Like a puppet. His body heaved as he breathed. He seemed so human. Are you ready, Saint Yune?
うん。そのまま差し込んで、左右どちらかに回してみて。動く方に一回転させるだけでいい。
Okay. Alright. I gulped and slowly pushed it in. The keyhole was small and the key fit snugly. Are you okay?
うん。異物が入ったから、くすぐったいだけ。
Ew.
全部入ったね。それじゃあ、回してみて。
I nodded and turned it to the right. I felt resistance. Guessing it must have been the wrong direction, I turned it left. It turned smoothly and with no resistance. After one full turn, I heard a click. Saint Yune.
うん。これで終わりだ。機械の音がしない。あっけないものだね。
Saint Yune buttoned up his shirt and looked at me.
ねえ、私の外見変わった？さっきと違って見える？
Well, I thought about it before I shook my head. You look the same. It hasn't been long. It probably takes more time for changes to appear.
そう。まあ、そうか。
Saint Yune seemed a little unhappy, but threw the key into the air. He caught it with one hand.
私が胸に機械を入れたのは、体が弱かったからだ。その機械を止めた今、私の体はいつ朽ちるかわからない。それはずっと先かもしれないし、10年後かもしれない。1年しか持たないかもしれないし、明日突然死んでいる可能性もある。
God!
私はきっと、お前より先に行くことになる。一緒にいてって言ったけど、
This is horrible!
本当にいいの？
Even with the good ending, it's horrible. This is the good ending, right? I don't know. Yes, I don't mind. I want you to live as long as possible, of course. But happiness isn't something that's tied to some length of time. As long as we don't waste our time together and try to be happy, we'll be able to smile when we have to say goodbye. What do you think, Saint Yune? Are you afraid of death?
あるわけないじゃない。今は期待と希望しかないよ。おいで。
Oh, picture get! Saint Yune!
ああ、さっき注意したばかりなのにな。様はいらないんだってば。ほら。
This is a weird picture anyways. He's like floating? I don't know. Saint Yune.
何それ。もう、言うことを聞かない子には、こうだ。
What? It's hard to breathe.
やめてあげないよ。ずっと抱きしめてみたかった。こういうのが恋人っぽいでしょ。これからは好きなだけ触れるんだ。お前が傷つくかもって恐れずに済むんだ。幸せだ。終わりのないものはつまらない。未来は見えないから楽しいんだ。その楽しみをお前と分かち合い支え合いたい。好きだよ。
That was it? That has to be the good ending.
Prison.
I'm pretty sure that was the good ending, but let me just double check here. Let's go to extra, let's go to ending list, and we'll go to Yune. My time. Let me just double check. Yeah, that was the good ending. That is some kind of fucking bullshit. Do you have any idea? Well, no, you guys know, but I literally suffered so much watching this freaking ending. It was a roller coaster of horror. Like, literally, Krimu gets fucking stabbed, and then you think that she's dead. And then Yune gets, like, literally thrown into the depths. Well, first he gets yelled at, and everybody turns against him up in the heights, which is so unfair. Then he gets thrown into the depths, and because he loves Krimu, he gets beaten with stones. He's literally stoned by the freaking villagers or like whatever in the sanctuary district, and then Burger's over there laughing to himself because he gets to bring him to Glissade, who is a fucking psychopath, as we learned from Adage's route. And so obviously Adage fucking, like, not Adage, but Glissade is like, oh, like, time to play with my new toy, while Yune is literally like just like barely recovered. He's really like, he was basically dead, like, but he was forcibly still alive because of the stupid machine. He couldn't die. And so Glissade stabs him 50,000 times with needles and then like starts putting freaking gasoline or something into him. I have no idea what the fuck that fluid was, but apparently it was flammable. So, and like by the time they get to Yune, like literally Krimu and Ulrich, like Krimu's thing, like, what the fuck? How did she survive? She was stabbed in the stomach with a knife. Like, you would think that someone who knows how to kill someone's parents would know how to kill her, too, you know? Like, what? Okay, like, that guy just failed. And then she somehow survived. They threw her into the sanctuary district, so I don't know how she survived with a freaking blade inside of her. And then Ulrich was, I guess, keeping in touch with Glissade, and he was like, oh, I see St. Yune's in there, but I hated him in the first place, so I think he gets what he deserves, but I do have a question about this box that I never brought up, so I'm gonna save him, and I'm gonna tell Krimu about him. So he saves Krimu, and then they both go together to the freaking Hound's place, sneak in, grab him somehow. He's like barely alive again. He probably is filled with some type of mysterious liquid, whether it be vodka or gasoline, I have no idea. And then I'm literally going on a rant. I'm so mad. Oh, and then they're like about to leave, and it's fucking Finn and Glissade again, and then fucking Glissade is like, like, well, you're like touching my property, and I'm so glad Creamu's here because I love to take blood samples from you. And then Finn is like, oh, did you just talk shit about, oh, you gonna take something or other from my girl? And fuck no. And he just stabs him to death and chops his head off or something. And then Burger, like, no, okay, not even Burger. We all leave. Finn stays for some reason, maybe just to fight Burger, or maybe because Finn was like, you know what? Like, I can't live a normal life because I'm broken. And so him and his suicidal ass goes after Burger, where they have like a big old fight, and then somehow all-powerful Burger gets tripped and like slammed onto the ground, and Finn is so strong that he can just hold him down while smoking a cigarette and then lighting him on fire and then pinning him down in the fire so that Burger dies while being roasted alive. And then Finn just sits there like laughing maniacally, like, oh god, dude. Oh god. Oh god. What the heck was all of that for? Why couldn't they just bring us to this part where it was like, oh, like Yune and Creamu meet up and they fall in love. Like, well, they were already in love, but like they meet up at Ulrich's hideout and they just go from there, you know? Like, why include all of this awful stuff? I literally thought that I was going through the worst ending possible. I was literally crying at some point. I was basically like 2 seconds away from sobbing my eyes out. I was horrified. I thought that I did something wrong. Like, I thought I did something horribly wrong. I don't even want to know what his bad endings look like, but that is ridiculous. And the craziest thing is that in order to even unlock his route, you have to play through frickin' like Ulrich's bad route. You need to play through like what's it called? Ulrich's Ferrier route. I think it's one of his like bad endings pretty much. But you need that in order to unlock St. Yune's fucking route, which is so stupid. I'm so shook right now, guys. You have no idea. I'm so salty. like I started to really like Yune, and by the end of all of that, I'm like, bitch, like, they literally just play with your feelings through the entire good ending, whatever. Leave a comment below. Did you guys like this ending? Because I would be really curious to know, like, did you think that the horrible things that happened added to the story, or do you think that should have been saved for a bad ending instead? Because, like, I personally think that like, all of that really made me think that it was a bad ending, and it really, like, wasn't satisfying to me because I don't want anyone to be hurt during a good ending, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of a sap for that kind of stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry that this was such a mess, and there's so many trigger warnings and everything. I guess we're gonna do Finn's route next, which I really, really hope is more kind to us, because I don't think I can go through another one of these depressing good endings. So, yeah, see you guys next time.